Dumbest delivery app complaints that made couriers question reality. Strongest. A customer can type the wrong address, choose no contact delivery, hide behind a locked gate, ignore every call, and still somehow blame the courier. That is the magic of delivery apps. Today we're looking at 77 of the dumbest delivery app complaints from around the world, where food arrived, apps obeyed, physics worked, and common sense still got reported. Number 1. Saved addresses are convenient until people treat them like psychic records. One customer ordered dinner through a delivery app, forgot their old apartment was still saved, and then complained when the courier dropped the food exactly where the pin said to go. There was even a delivery photo showing the bag at the correct saved door. The problem was not the driver, the map, or the restaurant. The app simply trusted the customer's own history. The GPS was not haunted. The memory was. Number 2. Leave it at my door still requires access to the door. A customer in a high-rise complained that the driver left their food near the entrance instead of bringing it upstairs, while also providing no gate code, no working intercom details, and no way past the locked lobby. Apparently, the courier forgot to download the wall walking update. Number 3. Delivery instructions only help when they identify something. One customer wrote red door as the drop-off note inside an apartment complex where every single unit had a red door. The courier arrived with food, a phone, a map pin, and suddenly the energy of a detective in a low-budget mystery. The customer then complained that the driver should have known which red door was correct. Known how? By the smell of destiny? By listening for the apartment that wanted noodles the most? Descriptions work best when they describe something unique. Otherwise, the driver is not delivering dinner. They are auditioning for a crime show called Guess My Building. Number 4. Pet confidence is not a delivery policy. A customer asked for food to be left at the back door, then got angry when the courier refused to enter the yard because a large loose dog was barking at the gate. The customer insisted, "He's friendly," which is lovely information from the person not holding the takeout bag in front of teeth. Couriers are paid to deliver noodles, not negotiate with household wildlife. "He's friendly" is not a legal force field. Number 5. A bicycle courier is not a moving truck with handlebars. One customer ordered bulk groceries, including heavy packs of water and drinks, through a bike delivery option, then complained that the rider could not carry the entire order in one trip. 2 wheels can do many things. Becoming a warehouse is not one of them. The basket was fighting for its life. Number 6. There is bold, and then there is ordering several cases of drinks to a high floor during an elevator outage. One customer expected a courier to carry heavy grocery bags up flight after flight of stairs, then complained when the delivery took longer than usual. The building had already turned the job into an unpaid fitness challenge. Delivery does not mean, "Please complete my hydration marathon." The customer ordered water and assigned someone else the mountain stage. Number 7. Some complaints are just the app being too obedient. A customer selected lobby drop-off for a no-contact delivery, then complained that the courier left the bag in the lobby. Not outside. Not across town. Not inside a fountain. In the lobby, exactly where the instruction pointed. The driver followed the selected option so accurately it became offensive. Nothing ruins a delivery quite like obedience. Number 8. A handoff delivery has one tiny requirement: a hand. One customer selected "hand it to me," then turned off their phone, ignored app messages, missed calls, and disappeared for 20 minutes while the courier stood there with food slowly becoming a historical artifact. After the waiting timer ran out, the driver followed the app's fallback instructions. Naturally, the customer complained that the order was not personally handed over. To whom? A mailbox? A rumor? A faint emotional presence near the stairs? The courier was delivering dinner, not conducting a missing person investigation. The customer ordered food and then entered witness protection. Number 9. Typos are small until they become someone else's complaint. A customer typed the neighbor's apartment number, then accused the driver of delivering to the wrong unit. The delivery photo matched the number in the app. The courier had no secret access to what the customer meant. The keyboard committed the crime, but the driver got arrested. Number 10. Security features are very annoying when they do exactly what they are for. One customer had a delivery that required a PIN verification, refused to provide the PIN, and then complained that the courier would not hand over the order. The PIN existed to prove the right person received the food. That was not a personal insult. That was the app trying to prevent missing order drama before it happened. They treated a safety feature like it had ruined dinner on purpose. Number 11. Ice cream is a dessert, not a survivalist. One customer ordered it from across town on a hot day, watched the delivery crawl through summer traffic, and then complained that it arrived softened. The courier was carrying a delivery bag, not a portable glacier. At some point, frozen dairy meets heat and makes a decision. Physics did not break. The ice cream simply lost a fight it was always scheduled to lose. Number 12. Ordering pizza during a city marathon is an optimistic sport. One customer complained that their delivery took too long while roads were closed, barricades were up, and thousands of runners were moving through the streets like a very sweaty wall. The driver could not politely ask the marathon to pause for pepperoni. The pizza was not late. It was trapped behind 12,000 people in shorts. Number 13. Flooded streets are not just decorative puddles with attitude. A customer complained that the courier took a longer route during a storm because the app map showed a faster road nearby. The faster road was also underwater, which tends to complicate scooter delivery. Avoiding danger is not poor customer service. The driver chose survival over dramatic noodle transport, which seems reasonable unless your dinner is apparently worth amphibious warfare. Number 14. Soup delivery already asks a lot from the laws of motion. One customer ordered hot soup during heavy rain, then complained that it arrived later than expected, while also praising that it did not spill. That is an impressive misunderstanding of trade-offs. They wanted the courier to drive fast through wet streets, dodge traffic, protect a container of moving liquid, and keep everything restaurant perfect. Speed and broth stability are not best friends. This was not bad service. It was Formula One with soup, and somehow the soup survived. Number 15. Store hours are not a suggestion box. One customer scheduled a late-night grocery delivery from a supermarket that had already closed, then complained that the shopper could not complete the order. The app showed the operating hours. The lights were off. The doors were locked. There was no secret grocery dimension behind the cereal aisle. Delivery apps can send shoppers to stores. They cannot reopen supermarkets because someone suddenly remembered they needed eggs at midnight. The customer thought closed meant shy. Number 16. Waiting 45 minutes for someone who is almost downstairs is not delivery. It is hostage logistics. One customer expected a courier to stand around with a handoff order while they slowly prepared to appear. Meanwhile, the driver had other deliveries, other customers, and food losing its will to live. Almost is not a measurable location. They were almost downstairs the way dinosaurs are almost birds. Number 17. Lunch rush is called lunch rush because everyone gets hungry at the same terrible time. One office worker ordered food right in the middle of peak lunch demand, then demanded it arrive before their lunch break ended. The restaurant had a kitchen queue, the app had an ETA, and the driver was not allowed to bend noon into a private express lane. Everyone else also discovered hunger. They ordered during the stampede and blamed the horse. Number 18. Some customers see a batch delivery route and decide the courier personally invented logistics to hurt them. One customer complained that their order was not delivered first because the app sent the driver on a multi-order route. The courier did not wake up and choose betrayal. They followed the platform's route, which is usually controlled by the app, the pickup order, distance, timing, and other boring enemies of entitlement. The customer wanted one burrito to override an entire dispatch system. That is like yelling at a bus passenger because the bus has stops. Number 19. A delivery driver standing near a restaurant counter is not automatically the head chef. One customer demanded the courier explain why the restaurant prepared the food late, as if the driver had been personally managing the fryer, scheduling the cooks, and approving the sauce station. The courier's job was to pick up the bag when it was ready. That is all. They do not command kitchens through eye contact. The delivery bag was promoted to restaurant manager without consent. Number 20. Large office towers turn simple deliveries into vertical escape rooms. One customer complained that the courier was slow bringing food through a corporate building with lobby security, a reception desk, badge access, and elevators moving at the emotional speed of furniture. The sandwich had to enter, check in, wait, rise, and locate the right floor. That was not laziness. That was architecture adding side quests. The sandwich entered a vertical maze. Number 21. Crispy fries have one natural enemy: being sealed inside a hot bag with their own steam. One customer complained that their fries were not perfectly crisp after a long delivery, as if potatoes could remain fresh from the fryer while sweating in a container for 25 minutes. The restaurant cooked them. The courier transported them. Then, steam did what steam does. The fries did not fail. They became victims of weather inside a box. Number 22. Ice in a drink is not a permanent structure. One customer demanded a refund because the ice in their fountain drink melted during delivery on a warm day. The cup traveled through time, motion, and outdoor temperature, which are three very committed enemies of frozen cubes. Nothing was broken. Nothing was mysterious. Ice melts because that is its entire career path. The cubes resigned on schedule. Number 23. Some orders require a delivery bag. This one apparently required a private climate laboratory. A customer wanted sushi to stay cool, soup to stay hot, and both to arrive fresh from the kitchen after traveling together in the same delivery order. The courier was expected to preserve two opposite temperature realities like a portable weather system with a zipper. Hot items release heat. Cold items absorb heat. Packaging can help, but it cannot negotiate peace between soup and sushi forever. They did not order lunch. They requested meteorology with chopsticks. Number 24. Hot coffee has a known side effect: being hot. One customer complained that their delivered coffee was too hot, despite ordering a hot coffee, receiving it in a hot beverage cup, and presumably wanting it to arrive as something other than sad brown room temperature water. The drink did not misunderstand the assignment. The coffee committed coffee. Number 25. Aromatic food has a strange habit of having aroma. One customer complained that their sealed delivery bag leaked smell because the curry inside smelled like curry. Not spilled. Not missing. Not cold. Just present in the air with confidence. The restaurant had cooked flavorful food, and the delivery bag had failed to erase all evidence of flavor from existence. The curry was reported for being too recognizable. Number 26. Menu photos are not gravity-proof contracts. One customer complained that their delivered burger did not look exactly like the app image after traveling in a container on the back of a scooter. The photo showed a perfectly stacked tower under studio lighting, probably touched by tweezers, patience, and marketing optimism. The real burger survived traffic, turns, stops, and condensation. That is a journey. The lettuce did not betray anyone. It simply lived through a traffic documentary. Number 27. Pizza boxes are designed to lie flat, not travel like briefcases. One customer picked up their delivered pizza, tilted the box sideways, carried it inside, then blamed the delivery app because the cheese slid. The courier had already completed the mission. After drop-off, gravity remained active. The app delivered dinner, not anti-gravity cheese. Number 28. Leave it outside is a bold instruction for a melting dessert. One customer ordered a frozen treat on a hot day, selected no contact drop-off, let it sit by the door, and then complained that it melted. The courier followed the instruction. The dessert followed thermodynamics. A front porch is not refrigerated storage just because there is an app notification nearby. The customer basically scheduled an ice cream funeral, then acted surprised when the guest of honor did not survive. Number 29. Sometimes packaging protects the food, and somehow that becomes the scandal. One customer complained that their salad was unfinished because the dressing arrived in a separate container. The restaurant had kept the dressing on the side, so the leaves would not become a wet green blanket during delivery. That is usually called freshness, not negligence. They wanted the salad dressed early and also perfectly crisp later. They saw a freshness feature and filed a missing construction report. Number 30. Food does not pause its texture until the customer is ready. One customer received hot noodles, left them sitting for an hour, then complained that they had clumped together in the container. That is what noodles do when trapped together long enough. They continue existing. They cool. They stick. They become a group project. The meal was not delivered defective. It aged in captivity. Number 31. A delicate bakery cake is not a brick with frosting. One customer ordered a fragile dessert through a motorcycle courier, then complained that it did not arrive with museum-level perfection after crossing traffic, turns, bumps, and braking. Buttercream has limits. So does suspension. The courier transported a cake through a real city, not a zero-gravity pastry tunnel. They ordered dessert and expected fine art shipping. Number 32. Tamper-evident stickers are useful, but they are not immune to soup weather. One customer reported possible tampering because the sticker on a hot food container looked wrinkled when it arrived. The food was sealed, the bag was intact, and the only clear criminal was steam. Hot food creates moisture. Moisture makes adhesive sad. That does not automatically mean a courier staged a lunch heist. The sticker got sweaty and became a suspect. Number 33. Ripe bananas sound simple until someone wants fruit with a scheduling department. One customer asked a grocery shopper to pick ripe bananas, then complained that they were ready to eat today instead of tomorrow. The shopper chose ripe fruit. That was the instruction. Bananas do not come with calendar alerts, emotional forecasts, or a meeting invite for breakfast 2 days from now. The banana failed to respect the customer's timeline. Number 34. A catalog photo is not a magical shelf portal. One customer demanded an out-of-stock grocery item because the app still showed a picture of it. The image proved the product existed as a concept, not that it was currently sitting in aisle 4 waiting for destiny. The shopper could not grab inventory from the screen. The customer tried to buy a JPEG. Number 35. Grocery labels are not fantasy literature. One customer complained that large eggs were not actually huge, as if the carton had promised breakfast from a dinosaur exhibit. Large eggs are a standard size category, not a guarantee that each one will arrive looking like it belongs in a museum. The shopper brought the correct carton. The problem was the customer expecting Jurassic Park with toast. Number 36. Turning off substitutions is a very efficient way to not receive substitutions. One customer refused all replacements in the grocery app, then complained that unavailable items were simply missing from the final order. The shopper had no permission to swap them. The store had no stock. The app followed the setting. This was not neglect. It was instructions working exactly as typed. They locked the door and complained nobody walked in. Number 37. Avocados are already stressful enough without being assigned a dinner reservation. One customer asked a grocery shopper to pick the best avocado, then complained that it was not perfectly ready at the exact minute they planned to eat. The shopper could choose firm, soft, or somewhere in between. They could not negotiate with the fruit's internal timeline. Avocados are famous for going from rock to pudding when nobody is watching. Nature missed the calendar invite. Number 38. Frozen groceries stop being inside a freezer the moment they leave the freezer. One customer ordered frozen items from a faraway store, then complained that they felt less frozen at delivery. The shopper packed them. The courier transported them. The route took time. Cold food outside cold storage becomes slightly less cold. This was not a mystery. The peas experienced climate change. Number 39. The prettiest lettuce is not a normal unit of measurement. One customer asked the shopper to choose the most attractive lettuce, refused photo messages, and then complained that the final head did not match their private beauty standard. The shopper had produce, lighting, pressure, and absolutely no access to the customer's inner vegetable runway. Pretty to whom? Under what scoring system? With which judges? The Romaine entered a beauty pageant with no panel. Number 40. Quality control has boundaries, especially around unpaid grapes. One customer asked a grocery shopper to taste the grapes before buying them, then got upset when the shopper refused. Grocery delivery does not include sampling produce in the aisle like a royal food tester. The shopper can check appearance, packaging, and freshness. They cannot start personally auditing fruit with their mouth. The customer requested a personal sommelier for seedless grapes. Number 41. Approval buttons are small, but they still count. One customer accepted a store brand grocery substitution in the app, received the store brand item, and then complained that it was not the premium brand they originally wanted. The shopper did not secretly downgrade the order after victory. The replacement was shown, approved, and delivered. A cheaper substitute does not transform into the expensive version because regret arrives later. They clicked yes and blamed the universe for listening. Number 42. Cheap but luxury is not a shopping category. One customer asked a grocery shopper to find a budget-friendly champagne alternative that still felt premium, elegant, impressive, and special. The shopper found a reasonable replacement within the price range. The customer hated it because it was not luxurious enough. That is the problem with asking for royal treatment at clearance bin pricing. The shopper can search shelves, not rewrite economics. The bottle did not fail. The budget had champagne dreams and tap water discipline. Number 43. No contact delivery contains a clue in the name. One customer selected the no contact option, then complained that the driver did not knock, wait, and personally announce the food. The courier followed the setting, dropped the bag at the door, took the proof photo, and left. That was the entire point. If the instruction says no contact, the driver is not being cold. They are being accurate. The app obeyed too literally for comfort. Number 44. A delivery note is not a riddle where the correct answer is the opposite. One customer wrote, "Do not ring bell," then complained that nobody rang the bell when the food arrived. The courier read the note and spared the doorbell, exactly as requested. There was no hidden emotional subtext. The note was clear. Too clear. The doorbell got protected and still got blamed. Number 45. Proof of delivery photos are not lifestyle photography. One customer complained that the drop-off photo was rude because it showed their messy porch in the background. The driver was not hired to stage outdoor decor, move shoes, arrange packages, or soften the lighting for the customer's personal brand. The picture's job was to show the bag at the correct door. It did that. The courier accidentally documented reality, and reality apparently needed a filter. Number 46. Rain has a habit of appearing in photos taken during rain. One customer complained that their delivery proof looked wet and depressing because the bag was photographed on a rainy doorstep. The driver could control the drop-off location, the bag placement, and the app photo. They could not provide golden hour lighting while the sky was dumping water on the neighborhood. The delivery proof was not ugly. It was honest. The sky received a 1-star review for atmosphere. Number 47. Hide it somewhere clever sounds fun until dinner becomes a treasure hunt. One customer asked a courier to conceal the bag near the porch so nobody would take it, then complained they could not find it quickly. The driver had followed the instruction, hidden enough to be clever, not obvious enough to be immediately visible from space. That is the natural problem with hiding things. They become hidden. The customer ordered dinner and accidentally invented a scavenger hunt with dipping sauce. Number 48. Hand-to-me delivery works best when the person exists at the delivery location. One customer chose a handoff, was not home when the courier arrived, then complained that the order was eventually left outside. The driver called, messaged, waited through the timer, and still could not hand food to an empty doorway. Delivery requires a recipient, not just the concept of one. The courier could not hand dinner to a future arrival. Number 49. Contactless delivery is built around distance. One customer complained that the courier stood too far away during a contactless handoff, even though the whole point was to reduce close interaction. The driver placed the order down, stepped back, and let the customer retrieve it safely. That was not rude. That was the protocol doing its job. The customer wanted no contact, but with more contact, which is a beautiful way to make instructions collapse. Number 50. Grocery drop-off does not include entering an empty home and completing kitchen chores. One customer asked for groceries to be placed inside the fridge while nobody was home, then complained when the courier left the bags at the door instead. Milk needs refrigeration, yes. That does not turn a delivery worker into a licensed house guest. Private homes are not part of the standard route. The milk needed cold air, not a breaking and entering subplot. Number 51. The food arrived. The courier left. The sandwich did not require emotional garnish. One customer complained after checking their doorbell camera because the driver did not smile in the reflection while dropping off the order. The courier may not have known they were on camera. They may also have been working, walking, carrying bags, and thinking about the next delivery. This was not a birthday performance. The sandwich arrived with insufficient vibes. Number 52. Leave at door delivery can look very suspicious when someone forgets what leave at door means. One customer chose no contact drop-off, received the delivery photo, then accused the courier of abandoning the order outside. But that was the service selected. The driver did not desert the bag in the wilderness. They placed it at the door, documented it, and left so the no contact part could remain no contact. The food was not abandoned. It completed its mission with more clarity than the complaint. Number 53. Checkout screens are annoying because they show the part where convenience costs money. One customer demanded a full refund after eating the food because a service fee appeared on the final order screen. The fee had been visible before payment. It was not a ghost charge crawling out of the receipt after dinner. Delivery fees, service fees, and taxes do not become illegal surprises just because someone clicked confirm too fast. They approved the total and later sued the concept of reading. Number 54. Promo codes work best before the transaction is finished. One customer found a coupon after their order was delivered, then demanded that support apply it retroactively. The food had been cooked, delivered, photographed, eaten, and emotionally reviewed. The app was not going to time travel a discount into yesterday's checkout. They discovered savings too late and filed a complaint against the calendar. Number 55. Refunds are not always instant teleportation for money. One customer complained that a refund did not appear immediately after support processed it, even though the timeline involved card networks, banks, and payment processors. The app could start the refund. It could not personally sprint into the banking system and drag the money back by the collar. Waiting is frustrating, but not always suspicious. They expected customer support to wrestle a debit card network in real time. Number 56. Saved payment methods are helpful until people stop looking at them. One customer used the wrong card at checkout, then demanded the app undo the transaction immediately because they had meant to choose a different one. The card did not leap into the order like a villain. It was selected, confirmed, and charged through the normal payment flow. Support can explain policies. It cannot erase the need to check the screen before pressing pay. The wrong card did not frame itself. Number 57. Changing your mind is free. Food preparation usually is not. One customer canceled after the restaurant had already accepted the order and started cooking, then demanded a full refund because they were not in the mood anymore. Unfortunately, the kitchen was already in the mood. Ingredients had been opened, food had been started, and labor had entered the receipt. A cancellation window exists for a reason. Once the burger is under construction, regret is not a magical reverse button. The meal was emotionally abandoned mid-build. Number 58. A tiny order still has to travel through a full-size city. One customer complained about a small order fee after asking for a single low-cost item to be delivered across town. The courier still needed time, fuel, traffic patience, pickup effort, and drop-off logistics. Convenience does not shrink just because the bag is small. They summoned a human for one sauce cup and questioned economics. Number 59. A missing straw is inconvenient. It is not usually the financial collapse of dinner. One customer demanded a full meal refund because the drink arrived without a straw. The food was there. The drink was there. The receipt was mostly alive. The missing item was a tiny plastic accessory, not the emotional foundation of the entire order. Reporting it is fair. Turning it into a total refund event is theater. The straw carried the value of the whole receipt on its tiny absent shoulders. Number 60. Menu photos are designed to make food look good, not to serve as edible measuring tapes. One customer complained that the delivered item looked smaller than the picture in the app. The image was a presentation photo, probably zoomed, lit, styled, and arranged by people whose job is optimism. The real food arrived in packaging after transport. That is not a scale model contract. They did not order dinner. They tried to eat the marketing department. Number 61. Refunds usually return to the original payment method, which becomes shocking if someone forgets the original method. One customer paid with app credits, got a refund, and then complained that the money came back as app credits. The credits did not disguise themselves as cash and escape. They simply returned home. Store credit turning into real money because disappointment occurred is not a standard financial process. The credits came back and were treated like strangers. Number 62. Pressing the refund button repeatedly can eventually make the button suspicious. One customer kept reporting missing items across multiple orders, then got angry when the account started requiring extra verification before approving more claims. The platform was not saying every complaint was fake. It was saying, unusual patterns get reviewed, because that is how systems avoid turning refunds into a vending machine. If every delivery becomes a mystery, someone will eventually ask for a flashlight. They press the refund button until the refund button pressed back. Number 63. A courier with a food bag is not a chef on wheels. One customer asked the delivery driver to add extra sauce at the door, as if the hallway had become the final station of a restaurant kitchen. The driver had picked up a sealed order. They did not bring pans, ingredients, gloves, or sauce authority. Once the restaurant hands over the bag, the recipe is finished. The apartment corridor was not a test kitchen. Number 64. Grocery delivery ends at drop-off, not pantry design. One customer wanted the courier to unpack all the bags and organize the items inside the cabinets. That is not a delivery instruction. That is household labor wearing a grocery receipt. The shopper delivered the order. The cans, boxes, and snacks could survive the final 3 feet without professional staging. They ordered groceries and expected a butler trial. Number 65. Some customers aim their frustration at the nearest uniform. One person demanded the courier argue with the restaurant about the recipe because the food apparently needed more seasoning. The driver did not create the menu, season the dish, approve the recipe, or train the chef. Their role was pickup, transport, and drop-off. That is already a complete job. Turning them into a flavor attorney was not part of the delivery fee. Number 66. Outdoor delivery instructions need more detail than "by the tree." One customer asked a courier to bring food to a picnic spot in a crowded park with only a vague GPS pin and a description that matched half the grass in the city. There were blankets, benches, families, trees, bags, and possibly 30 people who looked like they might want pasta. The driver was not lost. The address was imaginary. They sent the courier into a Where's Waldo episode with takeout. Number 67. Shopper chat is for practical updates, not a private nutrition seminar. One customer expected the grocery shopper to read every label over the phone before choosing items, including calories, sodium, ingredients, allergens, serving sizes, and possibly the emotional history of each cereal box. Meanwhile, the shopper was still trying to finish the actual order before the store closed or the frozen items gave up. Asking one question is fine. Turning the aisle into an audiobook of sodium content is not normal grocery logistics. The shopper was there to buy food, not narrate the back of every package like a documentary series. Number 68. A completed delivery is not automatically a free return service. One customer received their items, changed their mind, and expected the courier to come back, pick up the unwanted products, return them to the store, and somehow continue their workday as if nothing happened. Delivery drivers move orders forward. They do not become roaming customer remorse managers after drop-off. The courier delivered once and got drafted into regret logistics. Number 69. Delivery workers are not food security guards for pets. One customer asked the driver to leave food in an apartment lobby, then wait there to protect it from the customer's own dog until someone came down. The dog apparently had strong opinions about unattended dinner. But guarding a bag from household chaos is not part of the route. The courier had other orders, not a shift as lobby sandwich police. The dog understood the assignment better than the customer. Number 70. Cashless prepaid delivery contains two strong clues: cashless and prepaid. One customer demanded that the driver bring change for an order already paid through the app. The courier had no cash drawer, no register, no cashier station, and no reason to perform banking services beside a burrito bag. Digital payment means the transaction already happened. The driver delivered food, not a mobile branch office. They turned a burrito delivery into a bank appointment. Number 71. Meal kits arrive unfinished, because that is the entire business model. One customer ordered a meal kit, received the ingredients and instructions, then complained that dinner still required chopping, mixing, heating, and plating. The courier delivered the box. They were not hired to step inside, wash their hands, and become a surprise chef. The app sent ingredients, not a finished restaurant meal. They ordered cooking and got offended by cooking. Number 72. A handoff timer is not designed around online multiplayer. One customer asked the courier to wait outside while they finished a video game match because apparently the final round had more legal authority than a delivery route. The driver had other orders, food cooling in a bag, and no obligation to orbit the apartment until victory was achieved. The customer treated the courier like a pause button with shoes. The fries did not lose to bad service. They lost to multiplayer. Number 73. Saved work addresses are helpful until people forget they are no longer at work. One customer ordered dinner to their office after already going home, then complained that the driver delivered it to the workplace. The app used the saved location. The courier followed the map. Nobody on the delivery route had access to the customer's daily schedule, commute status, or sudden emotional separation from the office. Dinner went to work because the customer did, at least digitally. Number 74. Multiple restaurant branches exist, and maps are usually brave enough to show them. One customer selected a branch in the wrong city, then complained that the courier was too far away and the delivery took too long. The app had displayed the location before checkout. The driver did not move the restaurant farther away for drama. Geography was there the whole time. They ordered from another zip code and filed a complaint against distance. Number 75. Pickup means the customer is the delivery driver. One customer accidentally selected pickup instead of delivery, waited at home, and then complained that no courier arrived. No courier was assigned because no courier had been requested. The restaurant prepared the order and waited for the person who had unknowingly hired themselves. This was not an app failure. It was a checkout toggle with consequences. The app did not abandon them. It gave them a job. Number 76. Airport food delivery is already complicated before someone adds a boarding countdown. One customer placed an order to an airport gate while boarding was about to begin, then complained when the courier missed them. The delivery had to deal with traffic, parking, terminal access, security limits, walking distance, and a plane that was very committed to leaving. A boarding gate is not a flexible living room. They ordered noodles against aviation schedules and expected the noodles to win. Number 77. Surprise me is a dangerous instruction for groceries because surprise includes the possibility of being surprised. One customer wrote that note for substitutions, refused to specify preferences, and then hated what the shopper chose. The shopper had to improvise from available shelves, missing items, budget limits, and a message that basically said, "Please guess my personality through yogurt." That is not a clear shopping instruction. It is a mystery box with produce. They invited uncertainty, opened the bag, and sued the mystery. And that was 77 delivery app complaints where the food moved, the app obeyed, the courier tried, and reality still somehow got blamed. Which complaint would have broken your patience the fastest? Drop your pick in the comments, and if you enjoy watching common sense fight for its life, like the video and subscribe for more.